to relate it, try to make it very simplified so that you will try to relate it and try to understand. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you wanted to relate it and you wanted to study the maths like that? So that it will help you a lot in a journey where you can learn a data science, learn a, simplify the things that you will be understanding. Okay, so we'll try to understand now how we'll take an introduction first with a story, magical story, so that we'll understand. Imagine, imagine you have a magical book. Okay, so let me take a this as a this is a magical book. Okay, that tells you the perfect gift. Okay, for each of the friend based on what they like. Okay, if you give a book a name like Aryan, it instantly tells you Aryan loves chocolates. Correct. So whether this gift it is telling about what people, your friends, what is they are liking all about. Okay. So let's say if you give it another name called Neha, it tells you that Neha loves books. So this book is doing something special, correct? So matching the names to their favorite things, just like your how our brain connects people and their preferences, correct? So what problems, so now you have to congratulate you learned relation and functions. So this book gives a name called Aryan, and Aryan loves chocolate. Neha loves books. So this matching of favorite things, like our brain connects the people with their preferences, correct? So congratulations, you just learned the relation function without realizing it. So now we'll try to understand what problems what problems does this concept solve in real world. So, like, have you ever wondered what problems does this concept solve in real world? Think about these questions before learning this concept. First, you have to ask the questions. How does Amazon recommend the products you love? Number two, how does Netflix know which movie you might watch next, enjoy next? How does Google Maps tells you the best route? Okay, so all this happens because of the mathematical concept called as relation and functions. How the company does, companies are matching the input, user, location, behavior with the best possible output, recommendation, routes, and results. Okay, so using these principles, they are mapping like this. So let me have it like this. So so that if you wanted to refer this particularly, so you can go through this as well. So I will put into this particularly into the description, so you can watch around it and you can look into it. So all of this happens of mathematical concepts called relation and functions. Company matches input, users, location, behavior with the best possible output, that is recommendations we can call as a routes, we can call as a results using this principle. So this is what all about the what problems does this solve in a real world. So in the next section we'll try to understanding these concepts with the similar examples. We'll try to make it very simpler so that you will understand what is this in the simpler terms. Every teacher is talking about this, but they are not talking about the real world sense. They are all the people talking in the sense of very jargons, mathematical concepts. So we are not able to understand those things in layman terms. So I'm making breaking down in a real world terminology so that each and every people can understand. Anybody wanted to get into this so that they can understand the layman terms. Okay, the jargon words you need to tell in the interview, but the things you need to understand in the broader sense. Okay, so in the next section we'll try to understand the concept with simple examples. Yes, folks. So we'll try to understand the concept in simpler examples. Before going to the example, we'll first try to understand the relation in simple terms and functions in real terms. Okay, general sense, not too much jargons here. Relation is way of connecting two things. Okay, way to connect two things is called as a relations. Okay, so functions special type of a relation where one input always gives one exactly one output. Okay, let's try to take it as a general sense, not too much. Okay, let's take an example one school attendance sheet. Okay, so what happens if what take a scenario that you go to school, right? Teacher writes your name in attendance register, correct? What the teacher will do, teacher writes your name, and uh, you go to school, teacher writes your name in the attendance register, correct? So your name is connected to what relation, correct? Present or absent? Are you able to correlate? Your name is connected to the status. Yes, connect to present or absent. Correct. So this is the relation because it connects students is related with their attendance status. So that is what we can say. There is a relation, correct, between the student and the attendance status. So this is what you need to understand. Okay, in a general sense. So we'll go then try to understand. But if each student has only one status for the day, it becomes a function, only one status is there, then it become a function f of x returning something, only one output, exactly one output, correct? So this is what the function is all about. So if each student has only one status of the day, either p or a, not both, so then it becomes a function. So what you understood, right? Correct. So this is what the thing is all about. So let me take another particular example so that you can correlate. Now let's say I am taking an example of vending machine. Okay, imagine a vending machine where uh, ima- imagine where your vending machine you press the button labeled Coke and it always give you a Coke. Okay, so what you do? So you press Pepsi button, you will get the Pepsi. Correct. Press Pepsi, you will get Pepsi. So this is a function, correct? So what that particular button functioning, it is a functioning like a function only, right? What do you want to say? Press Pepsi and you get the Pepsi. Okay, this is a function because each button gives only one correct drink. When you press it, that particular drink only it will give it to you. Correct? So this is what overall understanding you have to understand, correct? If the same button gave both Coke and Pepsi randomly, it wouldn't be a function. It would be just a relation. Okay, it wouldn't be a function. It would be just a relation. Okay, so you have to understand this. Now, in the next section, we'll try to understand about real world use cases in data science, machine learning, and in software development, how it is related to it. Understand one thing here. Real world use case in a data science, machine learning, and software development. So number one, in a data science and machine learning, how Netflix recommends movie. Okay, so Netflix has a millions of users, correct? Like each user watches the different types of movies, correct? So Netflix uses a relation and function to match the users, okay? To match the user to provide the best recommendation. Okay, so it will provide the best recommendation because of this, right? Like relation, Netflix uses relation and function to match users with the best recommendations. So what is this best recommendation? This is what the relations comes into all together, correct? So input user preferences, function, and it will feed it to the function and it will give the output as a recommended movies. Correct. So this will be the relation. Correct. User preferences and output. There is a connection between the user preferences and recommended movies. Okay, so why is it a function? So because for each user, Netflix generates one set of recommendation, correct? So it does not show two different users' preferences randomly. Okay, so it is because of that it is a function. Okay, for each user, you generate one set of a recommendation. You have to understand this particular thing in a broader sense. Okay, so why it is a function? So you have to ask this particular questions. So in deep learning, take a under second example, deep learning, image recognition. Imagine you have to build a face recognition like Face ID on an iPhone. This system takes phone as an input, okay, photo as an input and recognize it's you or a cat. It's you or not. So to recognize that. It works because of a function that maps the faces to identities. Identity. Okay, identify basically. So you have to understand like that. Okay, so just understand like that because they use something like this. So in order to understand like this. Okay, all right. So in terms of a software development, okay, you understand user login system. One of the possible use case. So when you enter email and password, the system must match them to your correct account. Correct. So this is a function because one email is an input match and can only match one password, that is output, not multiple ones. If a systems let the same email have a multiple password, it would be security disaster. Correct. So this is you need to correlate the things. The basically great example of software development having relation and functions. Okay, all right. Why this learning concept is important? So how this relation functions help? Okay, so let me get down to this so that you will understand this particular sense in greater into the details. Okay, so let me take on why this learning is important. So take a use case of a data science in the field of a data science, how it can be helping, how this will help. Okay, so how relation functions can help. So it will help in mapping inputs as a user to the outputs as a recommendation and prediction. Okay, so this is the what in the field of a data science it will helping you as a this thing. Okay, this is a use case for this. Okay, for the data science and for ML. I will write it as machine learning fully so that you will understand. Okay, so for that, it ensures the model. Okay, ensures that model that has learned the correct relationship between the features. Ensures that model has a correct relationship between the features. Okay, so we will be gonna do like this. So in a machine learning, it will help us like this. So in a deep learning, it helps in classification such as like cat versus dog classification or image face detection, something like that. We can that will be helping us. Okay. So, like in a software development, I told you, as I told you, like using database management, API call, authentication systems, something like that. Right now, it is feeling like it is a very jargon terminologies, but this is what the thing is all about, like relation functions. So, how we can learn, like, and apply this? So, start by observing the patterns. Okay, how can we learn? How can we apply this? So, try to understand one thing that so start by observing in real life, like vending machine, recommendation systems. Learn Python function to understand how inputs are mapped to outputs. Learn Python functions like how inputs are mapped to outputs. Okay, practice with data science problems. Examples like predict house prices based on locations. Like working on ML models. ML models that recommend products, classify images, or predict sales. So you will get to know understanding what are the things is there. Okay, so you can learn and apply those things in real life. So final thoughts like hidden power of mathematics is like next time you get Netflix recommendation, use Google Maps or log in into the account. Remember, behind every smart system there is a mathematical function doing its magic. Functions are not just a books, they are in everything they around us. So keep exploring because math is a secret ingredient power of modern world. So that's it about this particular video, folks. So in this particular video, we have understood how this relation and function, how we can apply this. The next video, if you want greater details about it, how we can learn this kind of a relation in simple terms, you can just comment down below and subscribe to this particular channel. So I will make this particular video in very layman terms so that you will understand how this particularly we'll learn it very simpler terms. We'll learn about the maths. If we want into the details also we can go it and we can make it very simple so that that makes sense learning mathematics. Okay, if you wanted to do connect with me, you can reach out to me and I will be attaching top mic link so you can connect with me from that. So that's it about this particular video, folks. If you like this particular video, you can share and subscribe to my channel. You can like, share and subscribe to my channel. That's it about this particular video, folks. If anyone likes this, if you wanted to, if you have a friends, they want particular content like this, they just share this particular video to those folks. So that's it about this particular video. I'm signing off the day. So the next video we'll be going to discuss all about next into the details. If you want, just let me know in the comment section below.